Hey everyone, welcome back to Elevate Your Business. Today, we start our shift to focus on what's your story. Our focus, diving into the real stories behind entrepreneurs, creators, and leaders who are making a difference in their industries. I'm your host, Ed Jarecki, and today I'm really excited about our amazing guest, Casey Muse. Casey is a creative strategist, producer, and innovator who's built an incredible career at the crossroads of media, music, and technology. His passion for storytelling and helping brands connect with their audiences in truly authentic ways is inspiring. And today, we're going to dig into how he got started, what drives his creativity, and some of the lessons he's learned along the way. So, Casey, welcome to the show.
Mm.
How are you doing, my friend?
Ed, I'm good, man. It's an honor to be here and just have this time to create compassion for fellow business owners and share some insight about how you keep going through all the trials.
We've met a couple of times before this. And as I was going through and considering the shift of my show,
Mm.
it just resonated with me. You do have an incredible story. So, to start with, could you share with our audience a little bit more about yourself and your business?
So my name is Casey Muse, Muze, and that name Muse was actually given to me by mentors of mine who did not know each other when they were mentoring me simultaneously. Life has led me to be the label of the author of rhythm and restoration. And what that means is I get the opportunity now to create conversations of healing and understanding through individuals that go through trauma, as well as giving music therapy interventions and classes and workshops and education to the mental health population through music theory, rhythm, rhyme, cadence, all those things. So this covers the neurodivergent population and the special needs population and dementia care population and the ECE, which is early childhood education population. Probably broader than that as well. I also do veterans.
Incredible. And so, when you look back over your life so far, what are the 2 to 3 moments that really shaped where you're at today?
I'm gonna say primary moments. So when I was two, I dragged my mom's pots and pans out. And unlike I think a lot of people's parents would respond in taking the pots and pans away, she said, "Here, these are yours to play for an hour every single day." And I can only imagine what she witnessed within that short time period of me playing with pots and pans to allow her to see something as a lifelong educator. My mom is, she actually just retired after 40 plus years of being in education, mostly in speech pathology, but in education as a whole. And the second moment was my first camping trip in Cub Scouts called Mom and Me. I have incredibly flat feet, and my feet began to develop tendonitis, which meant that there was so much pain in the act of walking. I physically could not walk. And so my mom physically carried me for a day and a half to point A to point B to this activity to that activity to the mess hall everywhere.
Wow. So, how has that shaped today in your business and your life?
Those things showed me two very cool things. The pots and pans showed me that she saw something really unique. And so, what that translates to now is to always celebrate the differences and uniqueness that I have. The carrying me because I had flat feet and the tendonitis was the enduring strength and love of the journey. And just that example of strength and that example of grit. Yeah.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Wow. Any other moments you'd like to share?
Oh, probably like 20,000. Yeah, I'll share one. So I was in a car wreck in my early 20s. I think I was 22, maybe. And in the car wreck, I was rear-ended by a motorcycle going down 635 in Dallas, Texas, which is, for
Mm.
those who know 635 in Dallas, Texas, that rings bells. Also, it was Halloween Eve. So you talk about normal 6:35 Dallas, Texas traffic plus Halloween Eve. It was insane. I was rear-ended by a motorcycle, hit a cement barricade because I fishtailed across 3 lanes of traffic, smacked so hard into the cement barricade, I back fishtailed across another 2 lanes of traffic and am still here.
So as you were going through your journey, what happened after that? What did it take to recover from that?
Man, a lot of mental clarity and finding purpose because that was an ending cap of a lot of mess that was going on in my life. And to be transparent and clear, I want to shed this light on mess. A lot of times, the mess that you go through, you are contributing as much to the mess as the mess is contributing to you. There are things that, if you are transparent about your journey and if you are honest about the findings and the things that are going on and the reflections of the occurrences of your heart, if you stop doing specific things, if you stop hanging out with specific people, if you stop saying specific things, those things minimize themselves. And I say minimize because eventually they go away, but they have to be minimized first, right? And so, yeah, man, it was just, I think for me, that was a moment of allowing myself to reflect so that I can not do things that I was doing.
Based on your book, there was a turning point on the chapter in the book. There was a turning point for you that moved you from one world into the next world. Could you share a little bit about that turn and where you were and what you
Mm.
turned towards?
That's hilarious because that actually is the day that I woke up and all of my mentors realized that they were all mentoring me. So, yeah. So I woke up in a little town in East Texas called Nacogdoches, Texas, home of SFA, Stephen F. Austin State University. I ended up moving there because I was in the midst of transitioning jobs in the field of substance abuse counseling. And so I spent 10 years doing substance abuse counseling and mental health work in total in that formal career of substance abuse counselor, licensed chemical dependency counseling, right? And I was about 2.5 years into that career, transitioned from one job to another job to the job of outpatient adolescent substance abuse work and ended up living in Nacogdoches, Texas, commuting to the job in Lufkin, Texas, right? If add some geographical context to you. And this was post moving back to Longview, Texas, where I was born and raised from Dallas, Texas, because things just weren't working out. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. A lot of drama, mental health, depression, anxiety, just vices that I wasn't supposed to be doing, is drinking too much, partying too much, all those things. And I reluctantly moved back to Longview with my mom and went through the season of trying to figure out what that looked like and trying to find purpose and trying to find short-term happiness through happenstance. And then started working in the prison system doing substance abuse work at first. And prior to doing that, all the conversations that I had with God surrounding my extent of presence in music professionally were, I wish you would. The goal is for you to do music to serve others and not do it just to serve you. That's the goal. And I denied it and then denied it and then would tread and walk the journey of trying to find it, but then would find comfort in going back to my old life and just even doing DJing in the world of EDM, electronic dance music, when drugs, Molly, ecstasy, all those things were like really at their hiatus. When I moved to Nacogdoches, Texas, I was stripped of all those things and I was tired. I was so tired of living that life anyway. And I had 6 individual men who mentored me even through all of my not complying. And somehow they just seemed to stay there. And one by one, they all transitioned from calling me my name, which is Casey, to calling me Muse. One called me the Muse, one called me La Muse, one called me Ah Muse, one called me the Mused. Just different iterations of Muse, all with the Z, right? And so I clung to that name without understanding what it meant and what the realization of it is. And so I put it on my Facebook, just Muse, Casey Muse Williams, right? Because Williams is my last name by birth and legally. And I woke up one day and I looked up at my ceiling and I talked to God and I said, I see it. I'm tired. I hear it. And then I reflected on my name, Muse, and I said, let me look this up because I've looked it up before and I looked it up again that day and I dug deeper and I said, holy mess. And then I called the first mentor and I said, bro, why you didn't tell me that this is what this meant? And he said, you knew you wouldn't have listened if I did. And I said, you right. He said, cool, now go live it. And I said, how the heck does that work? And I was just beside myself. And then I called one by one, I called the other five. And when I called the other five, they all said, cool, now go live it. And I'm like, what does this mean? And there marked my journey of starting music with the intention of serving others. I started with naming a nonprofit called Star Avenue CO, which was named after the street that I lived on in Nacogdoches, Texas, Star Avenue, because I would have all the settings for it would be at the house, right, or on the property. And it has only grown from there of my understanding and my cultivation of what needs to happen and how it should happen and what my gifts are lining up with it, how I speak gently and with intention, how I speak with cadence and purpose, and who I need to serve specifically, how I even need to translate and convey who I serve, right? And how I create the honey that catches the bees has been so honoring and humbling for me to walk through it and not know a single thing of what I need to do, but then listen and lean in and earnestly learn how to do it, man.
If you don't mind me asking, how long ago was that transition for you?
About 13, 14-ish years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Since then, you turned your focus and you started, like most of us, you just started focusing there, getting better and better, starting to understanding it, started to create your dream, your vision. Is that a fair way to say
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Well, dude, I just really what it was is in the beginning, I think I just started to do something
Okay.
that was polar opposite. I started to just tread water, right? And just work and grind. And so started with monthly bonfire sessions at my house that brought artists in and celebrated local music and painting and art and talent in the creative space. And it has only grown from there. So at that point in time, I served in the city of Lufkin and in the city of Nac, but then also branched further down south and then did the city of Livingston. So I had those three footholds and was born in Longview, which was 45, 50 minutes north. So I served like this whole East Texas region primarily, but then all of Texas now. But primarily, like East Texas is a huge hub for me. So I'm gonna do this whole map thing somehow so that people can understand it. So if Tyler is here, and then if I'm going a little bit northeast here, this is Longview, and then south, you're gonna go through Henderson on down and shoot this way and then go to Nacogdoches and then go further south. You'll be in Lufkin and then down is Livingston. This is probably like 4.5 hour trip total south to north. And so I did Boys and Girls Clubs. I had a partnership with SFA through another nonprofit organization that extended from SFA. I served Knack ISD, elementary, junior high, Lufkin ISD, elementary, junior high. It's just it's been wild.
And of course, these journeys are never easy. May have been rougher before the transition, but once you get to that transition, it's always a continue move forward and
Yeah,
you run into obstacles.
yeah.
What did you do when you ran into those obstacles, especially those ones that impacted you emotionally? Any insights?
Yeah, my mantra was I didn't want to go back. I just didn't. I didn't want to go back to not having the feeling of fulfillment, the feeling of purpose, the idea that I was climbing to get somewhere. I just didn't want to go back, right? At that point in time, I think I was watching a live Gary Vaynerchuk, and something in my head that Gary Vaynerchuk said kept replaying it. It was, you're either going to fight for somebody else or you're going to fight for yourself. And at that point, I was fighting for myself and fighting for independence. And even like at that point, even still, I was fighting to work for myself. I didn't know what it looked like or how I would get there. But that's what it was, is I knew that I did not want to go back and fight for anybody else. I knew that this life needed to be me fighting for myself and my independence and my freedom of financial success and just fulfillment as a whole, right? I just didn't want to go back. I also didn't want to go back to struggle through a whole bunch of mental health crisis.
So the fulfillment kept driving you. And what I get a sense of is there's a discipline associated with that, and there's a passion associated with wanting this life
Yeah.
versus this life over here. Fair?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you consider where you've been right now, what feels alive or stretching in your journey? What's taking you to that next level? And how's that changing what you do going forward?
Man, I love the idea of speaking publicly internationally. I think that just sets my heart on fire. And what's really cool about it, Ed, for me is the idea of vacationing with my wife on one public speaking conference and writing the whole entire trip off because I spoke one time and then just doing the speaking conference and then telling my wife, all right, we're done. Let's go have fun.
Yeah,
That makes me the most enjoyed. Like it just, that makes me so liberated and so good and so full of accomplishment that I cannot stand it.
I love that.
Right. That to me is everything to get to the point to where I'm like, hey, I just booked another conference in Jamaica. You want to go and then we can just go have fun after I get done?
Love it. I
Yeah.
used to travel quite a bit. And one thing that I told myself a few years ago when I decided to shift out of the political worlds was that I don't want to travel alone anymore.
Yeah.
And so my wife works with me now, and she's going with anywhere I go,
Yeah.
conferences,
Yeah.
client meetings, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah. Come on,
But
man. Come on,
it
man.
makes it so much more fun and enjoyable, doesn't it?
Yeah, listen, I love marriage, dude. Like, I didn't get married to not be with my wife. That's crazy.
Exactly. For the business owners and leaders listening today, what's one specific decision, conversation, or small action you want them to consider as they continue to work forward to achieve their dreams?
Yeah. So this is a bold one. I do encourage all individuals to do something to take care of your physical health as well as your mental health while you are in this journey of business, entrepreneurship, whether your business be entrepreneurship or not, right? In all points and in all times, please make sure you are doing something to exercise daily, even if it's like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, and making sure that you are not eating only crap for your body, right? Just I don't care if you enjoy ice cream every now and then. I love cheesecake. Like cheesecake might be my nickname. I had 5 cheesecakes at my wedding. I love cheesecake. Like it is so good, right? It's amazing. However, I have this huge workout routine that I do almost daily, and it consists of like 500 push-ups and some squats and some other things. Nobody has to do that. I understand I'm insane for doing that. My challenge is to do 10 push-ups a day or 5 push-ups a day. Please. But the consideration is wake up and do some jumping jacks. Wake up and do some stretching. Wake up and do some yoga. Wake up and do some Tai Chi movement. I don't care if it's real Tai Chi movement, but Google a Tai Chi video, YouTube a Tai Chi video, YouTube a yoga video. Sit down and do some yoga. Go find a running group. Run with your running group. Find a biking group if you don't want to do it by yourself. Because sometimes doing those things by yourself is the hindrance, right? So go find a group of people that are like-minded and do it with them, but find them like-minded and do it with them, right? People that are encourage you and push you to do the same thing. And just don't eat crap every single day of your life.
I love that. Your energy, your ability to function mentally starts with good health. If our
Yes.
health is dragging us down, it drags us
Yes.
down in a lot of different ways.
Yes.
So I absolutely love that message. Any
Yeah.
final words of wisdom for our audience?
Man, just keep going.
First,
Just keep going, right? It's uncomfortable because you're learning. And you said a word that I so advocate for is it's stretching. Allow yourself to be stretched and it will be okay.
wow, what an amazing conversation, and thank you.
Yeah.
Audience, I hope you enjoyed hearing his story as much as I did. If today's episode inspired you, be sure to subscribe to Elevate Your Business YouTube channel. They're packed with insight and inspiration. If you've got a story to share, one that can help others grow, create, or lead, I'd love to hear from you. Add your insights in the comment section below or reach out to me if you'd like to be a guest on the show. Until next time, keep elevating your business and your story.